afternoon, everybody, and thanks so much for being here today. Just a couple quick updates for you as we get ready to head into the last day before voting here. Everybody here is very busy, as you can see. Everybody's working very hard. Our staff's been working day and night, literally. I think we left here at 5 a.m. this morning, finishing up some things. So we're ready. Tomorrow is election day, and Palm Beach County is election ready. So 45 days ago, we mailed out ballots to voters who requested them. And since then, we've seen a record number of people returning their ballots, requesting them and returning them. And then 2 weeks ago, we opened up early voting locations at 18 sites across our county. And then we also did something new by launching 25 mobile vans at some of those early voting sites, but also at some additional sites, so that our voters would have 25 places to drop off their ballots around the county, plus our 4 office locations where they can do those 24/7 in secure drop boxes. So we've been working diligently here to make sure that we're able to provide greater accessibility to voters for this election season, because we know how important it is. So just some numbers for you to compare to previous elections. In November 2016, our last big presidential election, we had 150,000 people voted by mail. 242,017 early voted. 270,000 people voted on election day for a total of 660,000 votes. Currently, for the 2020 elections, we have 377,889 have currently voted by mail. We have our early voting's about the same. 242,092 people have early voted. So we have 60.79%. So just under 61% of eligible Palm Beach County voters have already voted in this election. So that's a total. We have already had votes cast of 619,981 votes have been cast before we even head into tomorrow. And we're going to see, of course, more numbers as the day goes on. We have record-breaking enthusiasm and turnout before Election Day, as you can see. We had a huge, really surge in vote by mail. And those numbers that I gave you, of course, don't reflect the ballots that are still coming in today. So we have vote by mail ballots that will still come in today and coming in tomorrow. As I mentioned, early voting is pretty consistent with what we've had before. And we are still expecting a very strong turnout tomorrow at the polling locations. So just wanted to give people a few reminders for Election Day. If you still have your vote by mail ballot, that ballot is due by 7 p.m. in our main office. And that's at 240 South Military Trail in West Palm Beach. So our branch offices, one down in South County is in Delray, North County in Palm Beach Gardens, and out in Belle Glade for West County. Those branch offices will be open until 5 p.m. and they will accept vote by mail ballots until 5. So our main office, the North and South County offices, to make it easier for people to drop off their ballots, we've set up the same mobile vans we had earlier that we used for early voting. We've now moved those to those offices so that voters who want to can just do drive-by drop-off. You drive right by the vans and we'll be ready to take your ballots from you to make it as easy as we can to get those ballots in, preferably today, or even more so than tomorrow. Our 24/7 drop boxes are still available at all of our office locations, and want to remind people that those are they are manned during the day by our staff, and in the evenings they're monitored by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department. So we have those are going to be very secure drop boxes. So if you do have a mail ballot and you haven't returned it yet, you also have the option to vote by mail still. So tomorrow you can go to your assigned polling location and you can vote by mail. If you have that vote by mail ballot with you, you can turn it in and they'll spoil it. If you don't have it with you, they're just going to confirm that we've not already received it. And once they've confirmed that, you're going to be able to vote a regular ballot. Okay, so if you do have still 2 choices to go, and you're going to make sure when you get to the polling location, you want to make sure you have a photo ID with you. That's going to be important. If you don't have a photo ID, you still will be permitted to vote. It'll just be a provisional ballot so that the canvassing board can then go through and do the research to make sure that it is the right voter. Early voting is officially over, so we don't want people showing up at those locations today. So early voting did end at 7 o'clock last night. The last voter in line at 7 was permitted to vote. So some of those, it took an extra hour or so to get them through. So again, the big reminder for tomorrow is you do have to go to your designated polling location, unlike what it was for early voting. And the other big difference is you cannot turn in your vote by mail ballot at your polling location tomorrow. While you could do that for early voting, by law, that is not permitted on election day. So if you have your ballot, we want you to turn it in to one of our 4 office locations today or tomorrow. You cannot turn it in to your office, to your polling location. If you have any questions about where your polling location is, please go to our website at pbcelections.org. You can go to the My Status page. It will show for you what address we have on file for you, and it'll tell you where your polling location is. If you find out that you have the wrong address there, you can still correct it. It's easier if you correct it in advance, because it'll take you then, of course, much less time at the polling location tomorrow. So please make sure that you are checking your address today. Make sure we have your correct address on file, and then let's get that updated. All of our polling locations have undergone a lot of the COVID safety protocols, so we want people to feel safe and secure going to vote. You're going to be in a very sanitized, clean environment. Every poll worker will have their temperature taken in the morning before they start. They'll also be having a COVID questionnaire that they fill out. Poll workers will all be wearing masks. Some of them also have, they may choose, in addition, we provide a facial shield for them. They have gloves available to them. Of course, we have sanitizing wipes. You'll find that we have the plexiglass shield between the voter and the poll worker for everybody's protection. We are also asking that the voters will wear their masks. We have gloves available if a voter would like to wear their gloves. We do, of course, have hand sanitizer available throughout. And the pens that voters will use, they'll just take with them. You, of course, can bring your own pen, but if you use the one that we give you, it says I voted, and you just take it with you rather than having anybody else reuse it. Same thing with our secrecy sleeves. The secrecy sleeves have been, laminated so that we can be sure that we're wiping them down. We'll also be wiping down your the actual polling booth after each voter uses it, so that you're going to go up and have a very clean environment to vote in. So we also, again, we do have our poll workers are there for 14 hours at least. So they are there for a long day, and we're asking everybody when you're there, thank your poll worker. They're working really hard so that you can have a place to vote tomorrow. And so one of the ways you can thank them is to wear your mask. So it's going to be a pretty quick voting experience. So we're asking, please wear your mask. If you don't have one, we will provide one for you, because we do want to prioritize everybody's health and safety. We did have some reports when we talk about safety. We did have some reports during early voting of people. There were a few people. Most people in Palm Beach County were fantastic, but we did have a few that were few reports of harassment and intimidation. Law enforcement was called when appropriate to handle that. And so we just want to remind people, we encourage, we're fine with you campaigning and pushing your agenda and pushing your candidate, and enthusiastic, passionate campaigning is fine, but we don't want you to cross that line. Don't cross that line to being intimidating and harassing to the voters. Because really, think about it, if you're intimidating and harassing a voter, it's probably not earning their vote anyway. So you're not really doing what you're trying to do. So please be careful and respect everybody's rights. We do expect to have our voting results, the early voting and the vote by mail that we have received through today. Those results will be out before 7:30 tomorrow, probably in that 7:15, 7:20 range. So we'll have those, early voting and all vote by mail through today. Tomorrow we will be continuing to open and process vote by mail that's received throughout the day tomorrow. We do several pickups at the post office, as well as doing several pickups at all of our 4 offices at those secure drop boxes. So Remember though, 7 o'clock at our main office is the last time for you to have that ballot in. We can't stress that enough. We don't want anybody dropping it in the mail today because it's unlikely that we will get it. It doesn't matter when it's postmarked. We need you to make sure that we're going to have that ballot in our office tomorrow. So again, if you have any questions or questions about things, please remember that our website, pbcelections.org, is another place that you can follow the results of the election. And we know that this election is historic, and that we know that there's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement about this. So we're just asking everybody to continue, be enthusiastic, be excited, go out, vote, make sure that you're getting all of your friends and neighbors to go out and vote. But whatever you do, do it safely, keep your social distancing, and let's have a very safe and secure way of voting. Ask everybody again, respect your fellow citizens, respect your poll workers, and make sure that you're encouraging your neighbors to get out and vote. Palm Beach County is election ready, and we're looking forward to a fantastic election tomorrow.